the end of the road for Asia Television as a free-to-air TV operator. Its free TV license expires at midnight tonight and its future hangs in the balance. Winner Wong begins our coverage.
After decades in the business, it's ATV's last day as a free-to-air television station. Today, its remaining staff, about 160, came to work as usual.
It's not just ATV staff and the media who showed up for ATV's last day. Some people came to its Taipo headquarters to take photos and commemorate Hong Kong's oldest television's last day on air.
It's like an old friend who has passed away, and you want to come and pay your last respects and maybe take a picture to put it on Facebook and hopefully remember the good times.
ATV officially goes off air at midnight tonight. After that, RTHK and PCCW's new free-to-air channel, View TV, will take over its airwaves. Some former employees say while they are sad to see ATV go, this day was inevitable. Yondon Latu worked at ATV's English news department for nearly 20 years before he left last year.
Actually, there are people flung far and wide who've been through ATV. And some of them may give credit where it's due, and some of them may prefer to forget it. But I think a lot of us owe a lot to ATV. Yes, ATV had reached a stage where it either had to buck up or shut down. And unfortunately, it had to be the latter. But the demise of ATV actually is nothing to be celebrated. It's a loss for everyone in Hong Kong.
Former ATV Executive Director Ip Ka Po blames frequent ownership changes.
I'm thinking that the most important thing is that our shareholders, they don't have the same force to make the ATV move. And sometimes, because we have different shareholders, sometimes they are quarrel, or sometimes they have their opinions, and some may be hindrance the ATV can step forward.
But even without its free-to-air license, ATV's latest major investor, China Cultural Media Group, refuses to give up. It announced today that it plans to turn ATV into a satellite television company with 3 channels, and it wants to hire back all of its staff. But the group will need to first work out a deal with ATV's court-appointed liquidator, Deloitte. As for staff and former staff who are owed their January and February wages, unionist lawmaker Lee Chek-yan said Deloitte and the Labor Department have been slow in helping them recover late pay.
This is unacceptable, and hope that he can speed up the whole process. And also, even after they have verified the wages in arrear, it also takes about 5 weeks to 10 weeks, the Labor Department said, for them to pay out.
Winner Wong, TVB News.
The TV station began almost 60 years ago as the first in the world to broadcast in Chinese. For long periods of time, ATV has struggled financially, and the situation was particularly dire in recent years. It all began with Rediffusion TV on May 29, 1957. In the 1970s, RTV produced many Chinese-language TV dramas that left a deep impression with the viewers. Some of their theme songs have become well-loved classics. In 1982, businessman Deacon Chew bought RTV from Australian owners and renamed it Asia Television. In 1987, a massive fire rocked ATV's headquarters on Broadcast Drive. With the help of TVB, ATV stayed on air. The station made money under Chew. In 1988, the Lim Po Yan family began taking over. Scandal in 1994 as 6 senior news staff quit in protest of management pulling a documentary on the 1989 Tiananmen Square crackdown. Meanwhile, ATV was plagued with financial woes, operating in the red for years.
感谢天，感谢地。
In 2010, a new ambitious investor came on board. Mainland businessman Wang Zheng, a member of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. He promised to turn ATV into the CNN of Asia. But that was simply not to be. In 2011, ATV News misreported the death of former President Jiang Zemin. Wang denied knowledge of the inaccurate report, but the damage was done. The station was later fined because of the case. 2 years ago, ATV began owing its staff wages. There were also disputes among its shareholders. The High Court appointed accountancy firm Deloitte as ATV's manager. Amid all its troubles, the government announced last year it would not renew the broadcaster's free-to-air TV license.
This is the first time in the local broadcasting history that an incumbent's broadcasting license is not renewed.
The late pay problem continued, and in February this year, staff who had been owed 2 months' pay began resigning en masse right around the Lunar New Year holiday. And Wang applied to wind up the company.
To all our viewers, thank you so much for your support over the years. Goodbye and good night.
ATV News, which had already cut back on its bulletins earlier, decided to stop broadcasting in violation of the station's licensing requirements. Chinese newscasts did resume later. Deloitte announced a plan to wind up the company and fired most ATV employees. Its management disagreed with the move and tried to stop it in court. Adding to the farce, it flashed a case of cash and a check to the media, insisting it had money to continue. But with its free-to-air license expiring today, this piece of local TV history is coming to an end.